Hi, I'm calling this week Inside Out. It really showed this week how incredibly difficult and complex we make things when they simply are. And there seems to be this energy that is trying to explode us to go there when we could just go there. So the week started off with this being who came, and it showed that over many, many lifetimes, this being came with a full glass. So coming over and over again into this dimension with a full glass, the desire to fill that full glass, which was already full, turned out to be like a white knuckling. It's like I'm white knuckling to try and fill the glass, which was already full. So difficult when we're already there, and the wanting it to be more. And the spillover from that glass is just that by being here, by default, others benefit. The flow over of the simplicity of who we are, which is, simplicity is incredibly complex, yet very simple. The next being that I saw, again, this making it more and more difficult. And what I've seen now the last few weeks in particular is this pattern that humans get into doing. So we've got this duality of left and right brain, and they speak very different languages. But we've got this, and it's been really powerful to stop this from happening. But when the mind can't find something, it tends to sack the mind. And it creates a second mind, because this mind can't find anything. So it sacks it, hoping that this mind can find it, which is really saying, can make it up, can make up something out of nothing to see if I can find it in mind. And what happened in this case, this mind was also, didn't have anything in it. And whenever I see this happening, that a third mind has been come about, by then we're verging on insanity. It's just insane, this not being able to find something and searching for it and searching for it and searching for it, when it really is nothing. What has been helpful this week is that people have asked for how can I stop this? And it's basically it's a mantra. It's a mantra. And in this case, it was, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. And another being that I had interaction with, the mantra was, because the substance and the ability and the seeing of this being is so clear that whoever wants to undo or disturb it, the mantra is, they can't hurt me. Just simply, like really, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There is a truth to that. They can't hurt me. what followed from there was quite funny, because the two beings that followed had a similar theme. Now, their physical discomfort was not pleasant by any means, but it came from the mind, like, really spinning. And what showed up was that, and I think this is happening for all of us, and it's why so much is coming to the surface, and the harder we try, the more mischief we come up with, or the more pain, or the more disturbance. But what showed up was that the holistic, that connects to the spiritual side, was running ahead. And the mind was panicking, trying to race behind, saying, hey, I can't catch up. Like, slow down, I can't catch up. Like, I have to understand. And if I don't understand, which is such a slow process, and often a booby prize to begin with. And what was hilarious was that the spirit turned around basically and said, I don't care whether you're keeping up or not. I've had enough. I'm moving on. Which in dialogues with other people during the week has showed up in people escalating their intolerance. They're getting head up. And very often when we're at that stage of a process where we get so head up, because we are asking this energy to move us, to get us into that flow. But sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot to get there. We leave partners, we quit, we run away. And then of course there's a sense of necessity in that. I have to do that because it uses that energy to move forward, but it's not always the easiest way to move forward. So this inside out, this wanting to find the significance, to find the meaning, to find that which we feel is extraordinary in us, and how to bring it out. That can sometimes become so introverted that you can get stuck. And there was an element of get over yourself. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. And when you allow that, it arrives through you. It's that enjoying the ride of what comes and what comes to you, and to be able to be in a creative process with it. It's a form of letting go, because being a full glass, that I would say we all are, is to, in the knowing of that, to allow it to come to you so it can spill over. It's bigger than the glass. Let it flow over. Which showed up in a being who in the younger years was not recognized. It was used, but not recognized. So that sense of not being seen, not being appreciated, is a trigger point. And although this being can make it okay, because that's the process, to make it okay and to keep it going, there was an element that needed to come forth to say, especially with our partners, friends, it's looser, even children's, it can be looser, but with our intimate partners, to be appreciated and seen is so important. You know, to celebrate. I'm so happy that you were born and that I got to live this life with you. To be seen. Not necessarily for what we do, just for the beingness of it. That the nothingness of it, that is everything. These are the things that really came to the surface this weekend. One being, you know, sometimes we can get a little bit disillusioned, a little bit much disillusioned with the world, and then we look at the world and we take what's in the world like a movie screen, like it's real. And if we focus on that, it's pretty dire. It's only when we can see from the inside out as, wow, that's the interplay that everybody is meeting themselves in, as a contrast, as a seeing of themselves, as a furthering of the spilling over of the full glass that we share with others, and by default they get to benefit, is a much healthier way, and I would say a truer way, of seeing the fullness of what being present actually is. And that session was actually about being present. So rather than escalating the anger, to force oneself to make a move that can be like shooting yourself in the foot. You'll come through it. Actually, necessity can lead you to shoot yourself in the foot. And then in the process, you grow in working out how to remedy that. So we can get there easily, or we can get there in a very difficult way. So this sense of presence kind of fits the season. To be the present. And when we come together, to have that be the present, which is becoming more and more important rather than the presence. So the cards that came up were in with the season too. It was awakening, followed by responsibility. And the third card was peace. So I'll read them. Awakening. Rousing from the inactivity of the past, or having held yourself back. Now is the time to wake up to what can be achieved and shake yourself into action. And we don't mean the action of thinking you still have to fill the glass up. The glass is full. Shake it into action. Let it pour over. Awaken to your potential. Awaken to your love. Awaken to yourself. You are so much more. Get over yourself. You are so much more. Responsibility. Be accountable to yourself. The onus is on you for who you are and what you have created. You know, getting to the point of intolerable to shake you into action can be pretty brutal and very upsetting for those around you. Others are responsible for themselves. Do not try to take away their journey by assuming responsibility for them. One of the women who came, who does so much and so much effortlessly. She was quite an epic energy, but to her it wasn't epic. It was just who she was. And the depth of her capacity was so vast and beautiful that one of her favourite places to be was near deathbeds, because the bliss and magnificence and the rawness of humanity and being was so beautiful. And again, that's just being. It wasn't about any responsibility. It was just the being with them in that process, which was her delight. But in her own life, standing in and meeting life in that neutrality and fullness of capacity. Again, more than a full glass. You need never be a victim when you know that you have choices in every moment and you take responsibility for them. Which means no blame. Usually that heightened sense of intolerance is they are the problem, they have to fix it, they have to change. Well, that makes you the victim. Don't be the victim. Move. Do something. Be real, but don't blame. Awakening. Oh, we did that. This one is peace. It led to peace. And I thought it was rather nice that awakening, responsibility, when that comes together, there is a peace. Relax, slow down, meditate, be peaceful. You do not have to fix everything right now this minute, but it may be the time to resolve your inner conflicts and create peace. Take time to peacefully be with yourself without any external noise or the hustle bustle of everyday life. Be gentle and peaceful in your communications. Do not force the issue. Neither can you try to create peace. You must simply allow it. Wishing you so much peace and absolute presence of self that you share with others. Much love.